Welcome back to Fatopia. Joined once again by Rich Dogmore and Angus Dangum. We left off with everyone talking over this book. Uh,
Well, not everyone.
well, no, Angus ran the book over to Rich's house and is definitely walking back in the door right now.
Wasn't no. Was I walking back into the door?
Oh, I mean, I guess it's up to you. Did you come back?
Okay. No, no. I
No?
had, I had, I had a little something I wanted to do as I'm walking with the book.
Oh, what's up?
They asked me to go save Dogmore. They asked me to go save Dogmore. Risk my life to save him. And then I come back and then to get mad at me for a book I can't even don't have no words in it. I'm ungrateful people. Just I'm finting. I make it to riches. I put the book down. Come back.
So you walk back in the door and you hear your mom telling Rich how she wants the book destroyed and she don't think anyone should possess it, and how the prophecy states that your dad needs that book. It's part of his whole goal. Um, and Rich,
So
you
I'll come.
Angus,
Go ahead, Rich.
I, th- I think it's time we start the bonfire. I know I just hit you to take the book to my house, but let's try throwing the book on the fire and burn it.
Well, it's on your dining room table. You know where it is. Go get it. I'm going to start the fire.
Fair enough.
you Angus, you get over to the bonfire and you find Erich. You hear him muttering something as you walk up, and he's throwing logs onto the bodies. And he looks over at you and he says, "Get casted off by a damn witch, end up in the fucking woods." And he just throwing shit on this fire. And he looks over at you again, says, "What?"
Appreciate your help. I do. Thank you.
"Oh, thank you. Thank you. Not no. Oh, Erich, I'm glad to see you alive. What happened to you, Erich? No, no,
I'm
no, nothing like that, huh?
I'm getting to that.
Hmm.
I am very thankful that you're alive, and appreciate your help. And I will definitely repay the favor in reason.
Why? Why, thank you kindly, Angus. Uh, is uh, is mom cooking tonight?
We're fixing to start a fire.
Let's go. Oh, by the way, where I landed, I found the 3 barrels of kerosene and
Oh,
some other stuff out there actually.
nice.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird. It's like they tried to hide it.
Didn't hide it very well, or
Well, I mean, I might have fell into the hole,
uh,
but I got out.
good thing you did. What did you do with the kerosene?
Oh, I'm 2 foot 8 inches. I couldn't pick it up. It's still back in the hole.
Well, I probably can't get it either. We'll let Rich know when he comes back.
Yeah, and you should see what else is down there.
What else is down there?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff: swords, weapons, crossbows. I even seen some potions, some books.
Okay, after we get this fire going, some of us may be going on a scavenger hunt.
It's getting dark.
Well, I didn't say all of us.
Okay.
You're going to stay here and watch the fire.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm getting naked. That's what I'm doing. I'm going back to the house. I'll be right back. I already got the Elvish whiskey, the Elvish wine. We about to get turned up.
Mm. Okay. As he's doing that, I'm preparing to get the fire started.
You start
Final touches.
you're making the final touches, and a courier comes up behind you, and he says, "Mr. Dangum,
Yes.
I got a note for you. From a Mr. Oko something something, the blacksmith something."
Oh, I grab it. Yes, I take it.
You grab the letter, you open it, and he reads, uh, "I'm sorry I left in such a rush. Uh, I thought about it a good while, and Orcish tradition is a proper burial, and I think that's what she deserved. So I went back to my hometown. If you're ever near, stop by. Oko."
Okay. I read the letter, fold it up, and put it in my pocket.
And you got this fire all pretty much prepared. You see that a crowd of people are starting to form. Um, you get approached by a group of two families. Um, the one lady approaches you, and she's kind of still teary-eyed, and she says, Angus,
Yes, ma'am.
would I know this probably isn't uh, an easy favor, but would you mind making a separate fire over to the side of three bodies?"
I'm I'm assuming, without asking, I'm assuming it's for her family, her deceased family.
There's three families that have come together, and they can't decide which body belongs to them, so they all want to get them burned, and they're gonna just bottle up the ashes.
Yeah. I uh I tell her I would do that, and it'd be um I would do that for the family, and kind of like a as a gift.
Well,
It's my way of paying. It's my way of paying my respects to the family.
we thank you so much. We'll just go over to the side there, and we'll have the bodies all ready for you.
Ma'am, I do you one better than that. You just point out the bodies, and I do all the work myself.
She points over. You see that they've kind of put three bodies all together. Um, and she points over to those, and she says, those ones right there.
Okay. Well, you don't worry about it no more. I'll handle everything.
Thank you so much, Angus. Make sure you tell your mom that she raised a great son."
I'll
And
make sure I tell her that.
they walk off together and kind of stand over to the side, the three families, and then that's when you hear, "Woo! Let's get this party started!" And Erich comes running out naked. He's got bottles in both hands. He's trying to hand people drinks, but most people are turning him down. He comes over to you, Angus, and he goes, "Woo! You ready?"
I let him know what I'm fixing to do for the separate fire, and I told him he can do all the dancing and naked dancing he wants around this fire, but to leave this one alone. This one is off limits for obvious reasons.
Gotcha, boss man. Gotcha. You want a drink?
I take a shot.
There you go, right out of the bottle, like a champ. And he takes his bottle back, goes back. He listens to you, and he stays on the opposite side of the fire, just so he doesn't have to even come close to him and cause any problems.
Mm-hmm.
And you can kind of still hear him faintly in the distance, having a great old time. Um, you you start to get the bodies together. Rich, what'd you do?
He's
I
going to
went to
get.
grab the book.
Okay, you get in. You see that Angus had set the book on your table, your kitchen table, and you notice as soon as you walked in that the stone was gone.
Crap.
Sitting next to the book though is this orb.
Would I not have carried the stone with me?
It was attached to the book, unless you took
Oh,
it off the book.
okay.
So you see this clear orb sitting next to the book.
And I have no idea what this is, am I right?
Nope.
I'm going to go to Angus and tell him we have a problem.
Without touching either object, you just leaving. You make it out to Angus.
I've seen this movie before.
You see Angus throwing all the bodies, or these three other bodies together, making a small separate fire. And you walk up to him.
Angus, the stone protecting us from the book is gone, and right beside it there's a clear orb.
What? I say that, like.
Yeah. Somehow, in the few minutes between the time you left and I went there, somebody has taken the stone off the book that protects us from it, and there is a clear orb that I have no idea what is or does beside it.
Well, I made a promise to. I'm assuming I know the family that asked me to do this.
You've been thinking about it, and you realize that you remember your childhood friend.
Yeah.
You realize that it's his mom.
I made a promise to Miss, my best friend's mom's name here, and I'm following through with it.
And that's also when you start to realize that she only had one son.
Oh, then I realize it's my best friend. I start breaking down. This was my best friend. This was my childhood best friend.
And you looked over the bodies, I'm assuming, after realizing this, and you realize that
Yeah.
you can't tell who's who either.
I made a promise to his mom. I'm following through with it.
I
Just at least
understand,
I can
Angus.
do.
I was just letting you know we had a situation. We've got a lot on us, so take your time.
And with that, I go back to preparing the fire, burial fire ceremony, whatever you want to call it.
No?
I'm going to go back to the. What?
Hang on, guys, 1 second.
Oh, you can't do that, Angus.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh. All right, so you told him that the stuff's missing. You guys are getting the fires ready. The big fire's already been lit. You hear Erich having a great time. Uh, Angus, you're lighting the little fire.
Yes.
You light the little fire. The family's
And I'm
gathered
going to go
around.
back to the clinic and relay the bad news.
So, Rich, you walk
Wait a
in.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Idea, Rich. We can't
Okay.
touch the book with our bare hands, right? Now, this is out of character.
I thought about that.
Get a shovel. Scoop the book up.
I thought about that.
Not touching the book. Take it to the fire.
Worth a shot. I'm making you do it though.
Book's not in my house. I'm tending to another fire. I have
Rock,
other pressing matters.
rock, paper, scissors.
Again, my duty to fulfill the wishes of my best friend's mom outweighs anything else at the moment,
Where's the
in my
friggin'
opinion.
shovel?
You see several shovels as you make your walk back. Are you going to the house? Or are you going to the doctor's office?
I'm gonna get a shovel and I'm gonna go try to get the book in the shovel since that was his idea, and see if I don't go unconscious.
All right. Well, this is a nice idea. You walk into the kitchen though, and you're all excited about your idea and your plan, and you look on the kitchen table and the book's gone, and so is the orb.
I'm gonna find Angus and relay the newest bad news to him.
You walk all the way back to Angus, who's now got this fire roaring, and these families gather around. They're all mourning, and go.
Angus, you're not gonna believe this, but now the book and
Let
the
me.
orb is both gone.
Oh, that's it. I mean, this is when I throw up my hands. You know what? I don't really care about the book anymore. I have reached a level of frustration. I have reached a level of I don't care anymore. I turn my back and I attend to my duties of fulfilling my obligations.
I'm gonna go find Angie and tell her son needs her.
No, you can try. I'm gonna tell Angie to hit the road,
You
but
didn't
you
hear
can try.
that.
Angie is walking over, and she was told about who passed and that the side fire and everything. And she comes over to Angus and she puts her arm around him. Then she goes over and talks to the mom.
And
Guess I'm gonna go check on Bob and Betty.
So you head back to the doctor's office. Angus, you're gonna sit here, tend the
I'm going.
fire,
I'm going to
and
tend to the fire.
make sure everything goes according to plan.
Hmm.
All right, Rich, you get back to the doctor's office, and immediately when you walk in, uh, you see Betty sleeping on the opposite table. You see Bob still laying there, still oozing blood, and yeah, your girlfriend sees you, and she kind of lights up. And she says, "I have an idea."
With everything that's going wrong, I am open to any idea.
All right, so I have to get everything out of him I've already put into him, which shouldn't be too hard. But I think you were right. You said something about light, and so I did a lot of research, and I think if we can take a light wand and find someone who can do a burning light spell, that possibly we can close this wound.
I don't know if I can do that. Angus might possibly be able to do that.
You have to
That's
find someone that can make the wand first.
I don't know if Angus can do that or not. He's upset right now. He just found out that his friend was killed in the war. He's having to burn his body. The book has gone missing now.
Angus's best friend died. I remember
He
that
did.
kid.
Angie's trying to comfort him now.
How's his mom doing?
The kid that dies, Mom, she's upset, but she's holding her own.
All right,
Well,
well, Bob's as content as he ever can be, and the last couple potions I put in are at least holding the bleeding off. I'm gonna go check on them. And
okay.
she turns and walks out the door, and you're in there with a passed out Bob, a sleeping Betty.
Well, there's not really anything I can do. I guess I'm going to go back and watch the burning bodies.
You get back, and Angus, you're starting to hear a little bit more commotion than anticipated at uh your bonfires. Um, you hear a familiar voice saying, "Bring it on, old man! I can outdrink you today, tomorrow, next week, you name it." And then you hear another familiar voice, "Oh, you little halfling, I could drink you under the table over the moon."
I turn to see who. I turn to see what.
You see the old man who wants to be noble, and Erich, nose to nose with a group of people around him, and they're yelling at each other about how much the other one can drink.
So I'm assuming they're fixing to have a drinking contest.
Possibly.
Someone up for
I,
election getting drunk? Who ever heard of such a thing?
It's better than
I go on,
sniffing
but
air.
I'm like, you know what? I have bigger issues to take into consideration, bigger problems right now that I'm dealing with. If they want to have a drinking contest, it's out of my hands. I wash my hands of the situation and go back to what I was doing.
All right, Rich, you heard the same stuff as you walked up. What are you doing?
Did I see Angus where he was going?
Angus is tending that side fire.
I've never left anything. I'm still
Yeah.
tending the small fire.
Oh, I thought he said he was going to the woods, like he was going
No.
No,
after that stuff.
no, he hasn't even mentioned that stuff to you yet.
I want to walk up to Angus, and I'm going to say, Angus, I know you're going through a lot right now, and you've had it up to here with everything. We've all been through a lot. Just need to ask, can you make a light wand?
Do I have the ability to do that?
You think about it pretty hard, and you don't think you can. You think that's something a little out of your realm and your abilities.
Rich, I don't think I can. And even if I was able to, if I with all the concentration in the world right now, I'm not in the right state of mind to do so.
Um, I take it making a light wand is different than making a light sword.
Yes. After I get done with this and I mourn properly, I will see what I can do.
Maybe we can figure out if somebody can. Fair enough. I'll leave you alone, Angus. Just leave you to your grieving. Thank you.
So where do you go, Rich, after saying that?
Guess I'm just gonna find Patty and spend some time with her.
You walk over to Patty. Patty and the grieving moms and Angus's mom are all comforting each other and in a kind of woman's circle.
I guess seeing this, I probably need to just. You know what? I'm gonna go watch the drinking contest.
You walk over to the drink contest. You hear a bunch of people chanting, "Drink, drink, drink, drink." You see Erich, who is looks unfazed, slamming bottles naked. You see the old man who is kind of hunched over and almost like he's about to fall any minute, but he's still slamming a couple bottles and cussing at Erich every chance he gets. But Erich is just kind of laughing about it and slamming more bottles and keeps calling him an old man, telling him to keep up. People are keeping count, and you could tell by the count that Erich is about 10 bottles ahead of the old man at this point. Um, and finally, the old man falls over, and Erich gets declared the winner. I win! And then he throws up, and he looks over at you, and he says, "Big man!" And then he falls over.
I look at somebody nearby and I say, "Is this going to affect him being elected elder?"
No, us dwarves pride ourselves in our drinking.
Ah, okay.
But that little halfling, though, he puked.
Does that disqualify him?
I mean, doesn't help. And they're both winners. They're both asleep.
I'm sure they'll be happy if you call it a draw.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but we'll take your word for it, big man. The drinking contest slows down.
Getting
Things start to die off.
pretty
Angus,
late at this point, isn't it?
yeah, Angus, you look at your pile and it's starting to be mostly just ember and a good amount of ash. Um, the family kind of don't know what to do really. They're kind of stumped. Uh, each of them pull out a metal tin, and they start to step forward. Your mom helps the one fill hers, and then she helps the next one fill theirs, and then finally the third one fill them. And each family kind of starts walking off, and then they stop and they turn around. They come back up to you, Angus. Each mom gives you a big hug, tells you thank you so much for doing this for us. And when things start to get better and we start to rebuild the town and stuff starts to get back to normal, we'll definitely owe you one. And then they all walk off. Your mom walks up to you, gives you a hug, tells you she's going to bed and that you did really great today. Um, and Patty catches up to you, Rich. Uh, she looks at you and says, "Are you just gonna leave him there?"
If who there?
Your little friend.
Oh, are you talking about Eric?
Yeah.
Have you got a place at the clinic he can sleep it off?
I mean, his house is literally right there, isn't it?
Oh, you're right, it is. Okay. I'll drag him in, put him in bed.
You gotta drag him, man.
How are you
I should
dragging
probably
him?
lay him on his stomach. Shut my eye.
How are you dragging him? Let's start at the beginning.
I'm just gonna pick him up and carry him under one arm.
All right, so you you
Like a
pick you
football.
you pick him up nicely compared to what I thought you were gonna do. So you pick him up. He's naked, by the way, covered in puke. So that's definitely uh something to
Oh,
know.
I could ask for something. In his passed out state, did he urinate on himself?
No, he didn't. So you pick him up, you carry him over to his house. You you Patty says she'll meet you back at your house because she's assuming that's where you guys are staying tonight. Since you have a full-size bed in your house and she does not. Um, and yeah, you set Erich down. You walk back to your house, Angus. What are you doing?
Is there still embers of the fire?
The small one is pretty much out. There's some of the other dwarves who have come around with buckets and started to pour it on the small one. And the bigger one, you kind of still see some crisp hands, um, and stuff like that. But
Well, I'm not concerned with the bigger fire, but knowing who was in the fire that I made, I was going to have stare at the embers in dead silence until it went completely out.
well, there definitely still some red embers and it's smoking. They're starting to put it out. So uh,
I tell them leave the little fire alone.
okay, they start to come over with buckets to the little fire and you kind of waved them off. And then they go deal with the big fire. Uh, and yeah, everyone starts to clear out. Angus, you've been staring at these embers starting to go from red to dull orange to black, and it's starting to get colder as the everything dies down and people have left, and you're just
One,
standing out
one,
there.
once it goes out in silence, I turn, go back to my cabin, my house, and go to bed.
And Angus, you walk in and you go to bed, and it has been a full day. You guys can get a rest point. I'm giving you both hero points, and you guys have made it through another portion. Um, Let me see, what time do we got? I think
Well,
that's all the time we got. So
yep.
that's the end of this episode. If you guys have been enjoying these episodes, you can write down in the comments, tell us anything that would make them better, what we can do to improve. We're still trying to figure out exactly what to do. That's why some episodes are this long, some episodes are that long. We're just kind of filling out exactly what we want to do and how we want to do them over now. And also remember, this is a homebrew campaign, so a lot of things are going to be different than regular D&D, and a lot of things I have to alter to make them fit our story. Rich, Angus, anything you
And
want to say?
before you ask, Colton refuses to do detailed human dwarf sex.
Yeah, that's not happening. Um, uh, anything else you guys want to add before we go?
I have nothing really else to say other than, well, if I did, it'd be repeating anything you just said. Hope everybody enjoyed it and everything, and come on back.
Yes, sir. Make sure you like, subscribe, check us out, hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload. These episodes should be up uh, throughout a weekly episode type deal. And hopefully by the next episode you see, we're probably 1, 2, 3 episodes with just us by now, and the next episode should have Horcrux in it, hopefully. So, yep. See you guys in the next one.